I'm Richard Durishin with Training and Education at Cycling Sports Group. We make Cannondale, GT, and Schwinn bicycles, and I'd like to talk to you today about the right kind of bicycle to ride on a charity ride. Now, charity rides are interesting because a lot of times you'll get very avid riders who will do 8, 10, 12, 15 charity rides a year, or maybe one charity ride that is multi-day, multi-stages, 80 to 120 miles a day for 6 or 8 days, right? Or you'll get somebody who does one big ride a year and it's a 50-mile charity ride or a 100-mile charity ride. Let's talk about what kind of bike you want to use for that kind of ride, right? Now, the first bike we have here is a mountain bike. This is a Cannondale F29er. It's got a lefty fork. It's a fantastic bike. It's probably in the mid to high 20-pound range. It's got big knobby mountain tires, and it is fantastic on a trail. 29-inch wheels, rolls over almost everything. Is this the bike you want for a charity ride? Probably not. Charity rides are done on pavement, harder surface. Bike like this has big, fat, treaded tires, so there's a lot of rolling resistance. You have a flat bar, and because you have a flat bar, there aren't a lot of places you can put your hands. And one key to being comfortable on a bike all day long is having multiple hand positions so you can move yourself around, keep your hands and arms from getting tired and in some cases numb, all right? So, F29er, awesome mountain bike, probably not the best bike for your Tour de Cure or your multi-day charity ride or anything that's like that, a group ride on pavement. So, bike 2 in bikes that you would ride on a charity ride, single day, multi-day. This is a Cannondale bad boy. This is the bike that kind of started the urban riding revolution. If you take a look at this bike, it's very special. Got a narrow tire, got a single-sided fork with a head shock on it. This bike probably in its mid 20-pound range, about there. This is a recreational bike, an urban bike. This is a fitness bike. So for somebody who's getting back into bicycling, who wants to do a lot of different kinds of riding, bike path, street, you want to do a 30-mile charity ride, this is a great bike for you. You want to commute into work, this is a great bike for you. But if you're using this bike as a bike commuter, you put a rack on the back, if you're going to go do a 30-mile charity ride or a 100-mile charity ride or a multi-day charity ride, take that rack off. Take as much of this stuff off the bike as you can, because the more weight you're pushing is the more energy you're expending and the harder it's going to be. So a bike like this, the Cannondale Bad Boy, a Rec Urban Machine, great bike for a kind of a short distance charity ride. This is a Cannondale Synapse, and if you're doing regular riding, if you like charity rides, whether you're doing a 30-mile charity ride or a 5-day, 100-mile-a-day charity ride or a Grand Fondo, this is the bike for you. Why is that? Well, first of all, the Synapse is descended from real performance racing bikes, but it's actually geared to do two things that racing bikes don't do. That is, number one, it's got a little longer head tube, so you're a little higher, which means you're more comfortable all day in the saddle. The other thing about it is it's got just a little bit of vertical compliance built into the rear end, so it soaks up the road vibrations. And unfortunately, we don't all get to ride on roads that have been freshly paved for the Tour de France. We have to ride on the roads around us and the roads that they set up for us to run these charity rides. So they're not smooth as glass, they're typically broken, sometimes they're unswept. So there's things in the road that, you know, after 100 miles, 4 or 5 or 6 days in a row, that can get a little tough. So the Synapse is the perfect bike to do that on. The other thing I want to show you, because it's a traditional road bike, it's got drop handlebars. And for a long day in the saddle, drop handlebars are important because it means there are multiple places for you to put your hands so that you don't get tired and your arms don't get tired. And all you're doing about every 30 or 40 minutes is moving your hand position, moving yourself around. And when you're spending 4, 5, 6, 8 hours on a bike, very important to do that. So, Cannondale Synapse, probably the ultimate Grand Fondo or multi-day or longer charity ride bike.